Joe fans, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review, and today we're going to be looking at another Arctic figure just in celebration of the month of December. And I hope that everyone out there is staying safe, staying warm, and just being an all-around good person. You guys are fantastic. I love speaking with you and meeting new folks all the time through this channel, which is just a highlight of my day. So today we're going to be taking a look at the 1993 Frostbite version 3. He was released in said year as a part of the 12th series in the Battle Corps line. Battle Corps. What can I say about Battle Corps that hasn't already been said? It's an interesting toy line, to say the least. By the 90s, Hasbro, I'm sure as a cost-cutting measure, they were not removing the accessories from the parts tree or the sprue or whatever you refer to it as. They were just selling it already attached. For the longest time, I thought that was really lazy of them and kind of an annoyance. But then I got to thinking, well, wait a second. It's actually kind of fun to sit there and clip the accessories off of those trees, off the sprue. And so it was, in a way, like putting something together, but you're liberating these pieces to be played with or to display them. So I really don't mind them. The spring-fired rocket launcher, I've said many, many times, and I'll continue saying it, that I love those things. They were so much fun. They are fun. I still enjoy them. I would have just been, like I aforementioned, I would have been setting up my Joes and shooting them down with that. Those, just line up a bunch of rocket launchers and shoot them down, just for the fun of it. So that would have been the way I would have used them. Yeah, as an accessory with the action figure holding on to them, you know, they're clunky and it throws the action figure off balance, but they did come with the figure stand, so that kind of helps. But yeah, I am not a fan of using them as an accessory, but it is what it is. It was a new generation. For a lot of kids, the 90s was their introduction into G.I. Joe, so the 90s Joes are their G.I. Joe line. For me, I was there from the beginning and continue to watch it flourish over the years. You know, it's waxed and waned as things do, but it's making a comeback, just given the popularity of the return of vintage items. Anything vintage, you know, from I should say My Little Pony, because they've always been around, but you know, like they're bringing back the old Ghostbusters and Star Wars figures. So vintage is still hot, still very hot, white hot actually, and not yet seeing a decrease in completely decrease. The bubble hasn't burst in the market yet, and when that happens, the value of everything will just plummet. And that's just how the collector's market is. Some things are really hot for a long time, and like baseball cards, for instance. I remember in the heyday in the 90s, any sports cards were a hot commodity. Little kiosks throughout the malls were selling these cards, and then the bottom fell out of the market. And fortunately, during that time, this is just fortuitous, but and it's off subject, but I had 2 Joe Montana rookie cards, and I didn't really pay much attention to them until the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. And they showed a picture of Joe Montana's Christmas tree, and it had his rookie card hanging from the tree. And it's like, wait a second, I have that card. So I went through, excuse me, went through my card collection, and lo and behold, I had 2. So I sold them right away after the 49ers won. My dad said, "This is the time to sell, is right now when they're hot." So I did, and I made a nice little bundle of money for a teenage kid, and who knows what happened to it. I probably ended up just giving it to my parents to help them with expenses, help them out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this review. Sorry, I don't know who they are. If they're important, to leave a message. If it's important, I should say. Everybody's important. But let's go ahead and get into this review. So let me know what you think about this guy, if you have him or not. Here he is, Frostbite version 3. So you can see here in the back, I have a nice carded example of him. I might end up giving him away sometime in the future. So forgive me if I already reviewed him. I went through my list and I didn't see him up there, but if this is a double review, I do greatly apologize. I'm running out of Arctic figures. I think this year will be the last, until I could buy some more, that I'll do Arctic figures. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at the figure himself. Comes with this really cool mask, but Frostbite is very nice, subdued winter colors, especially for the 90s, when everything was pretty much neon. So having him in these nice colors is a rare treat. So let's start down with his boots. He has these nice brown winter boots, and they went through the added effort of adding tread to them since he was only on the shelves for a year. They were only running them for a year. These are surprisingly very common. It's a nice little brown sculpted on pistol on his right leg, and looks like a Bowie knife there on his left thigh with these white pants and this little spattering of gray camo. That's a nice little touch. I personally would not wear my pistol down on my ankle like that, especially trudging through the snow. And up here on his waist, this is supposed to be his coat, and that's painted on and sculpted onto his waistline. He does have this kind of a mauve or a teal, much teal harness. It goes around his back, and 3 orange hand grenades on his chest, and nice little pouch is sculpted on there. And he has a folded down hood, which is really cool. And they even went through the added effort of sculpting in fur on there. And he's wearing his beanie. And they changed his hair color from black to this brown. Version 1 had black hair, and version 2. Why they switched him to brown is beyond me, but that's okay. It's a new generation, right? And he's wearing these nice brown gloves. This is a very good example of an Arctic figure. Cool action figure. I still prefer version 1 as far as Arctic goes. So looking at his multiple accessories, he comes with this orange rocket launcher that fits right over his hand, or He's supposed to grip onto it, but his hands are pretty tight, so I'm not forcing anything into them. And on the front, it has this Gatling gun. It's sculpted on. It comes with 2 identical missiles. These slot right into the front with the little bevel up. Push it in until you hear it lock. Hear it click and fire. This still has a very strong spring in it. Very good spring. He also came with this really cool, it's a hard plastic ski mask of sorts, a winter mask. Help keep his face warm. Comes with a shotgun that originally, I think this is Muskrat's shotgun that he came with. Tracker's MP5. And I cannot remember whose gun this was, but they borrowed a lot of accessories. He came with Muskrat's white machete and the figure stand. All right, so let's go ahead and see how he would have come on the card. See the card art there, him in an action pose. Really neat. He was number 20 of 30 action figures that were released. And here on the back, you could see what was already available in the Action Force line. Pretty cool. And showing the Mega Marines, more Battle Corps, and the Armor Tech Star Brigade. So his file card, it reads codename Frostbite, Arctic Commander. File name is Seward Farley S. That was taken from Seward's Folly regarding the purchase of Alaska. Serial number is 0215549136. Primary specialty, Arctic Special Missions Operations Commander. Secondary military specialty, artillery. Birthplace, Galena, Alaska. It's funny, I lived in Galena, Ohio for a while. He is an E4. He's a specialist, but he is an Arctic commander. I don't know how that works. Unless he's just up there commanding himself. And it reads, a quote, I guess, from him: "The colder the climate, the hotter my trigger finger." Okay. You go, Frosty. All right, and his file card continues reading, Frostbite grew up in a small remote town where the only season he ever knew was winter. On his 18th birthday, he left home in search of adventure, and a search that eventually led him to join the Joe team. Having driven everything back home, from turbocharged snowmobiles to Alaskan oil trucks, he enrolled in the U.S. Army's transportation school before being recruited by the Joes. He was up at the top of his class, of course, and the fastest driver, of course, the school has ever seen. Skills that make him an asset to the G.I. Joe team. He has served in burning hot places like the Sahara Desert, but prefers duty in the frozen north. Vehicle specialties include the Mudbuster, the Monster Blaster APC. Those were vehicles released at that time that came without drivers, so they just assigned whatever vehicle to whatever action figure they felt like, I guess. And then it has a breakdown of all of his parts and accessories. Number 1, insulated fur-lined jacket. Number 2 is knitted heat containment cap. Number 3, XM4 machine gun with built-in silencer. Number 4, the 3 XJT baseball grenades. Those are on his chest. 5, thermal cannon with heat-generated blast propulsion. It's kind of redundant. Thermal and heat are the same thing. Number 6, insulated boots fitted with crampons, not the other thing. And I'm sure those will keep your feet warm too and dry. Number 7, buck knife with leg sheath. Number 8, chest mounted ammo pouches. It comes with 2 of them. Make sure you see that. Frost-free face mask and 9mm pistol with leg holster. Okay, that's a breakdown of all of his accessories and everything you see on the action figure. And they forgot to mention self-generating facial warmer that he's wearing. I love it when I sit here and talk and I forget to push play. Lovely. So let me know what you think about that action figure. Did you have him? Do you have him? Any thoughts in general? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, what your opinions are on this. So if you're looking for him on the aftermarket, he is very readily available. For those of you just joining me, I do this. It's my favorite segment called Byron's Gripes. I use eBay as a reference, not as a way to pick on eBay or the sellers. That's not what this channel is about. I give you guys an idea of what to expect when shopping for this action figure. Yeah, there are many other sites out there that sell these things. Also, your local vintage toy shop, thrift store, comic shop, wherever. I've had luck in a lot of these places, so I encourage you to shop local. It keeps money in your community. So, as you guys know, or may not know, that some of these prices are just completely nuts, and that's what really got me started on Byron's Gripes. So here we go. The action figure by himself, $4 up to $10. Not bad. I'll put those with deal of the day. The accessories are cheap enough, but if you're just looking to rebuild your Arctic troops, man, do a little head swap, maybe Frostbite's head with Blizzard's head, and you have a whole new action figure. So he's great to rebuild, to build up your troops. Incomplete, missing a few of his accessories, $9.99 up to $29.99. $29 is pretty high up there, but relatively speaking, as far as a vintage figure, it's not too terribly bad. I would do the $9.99 deal of the day, and you can pick up his accessories pretty cheap and still stay within a decent budget, even with shipping. But mind shipping, people are starting, well, they have been for a while now, but gouging you on shipping. Complete deal of the day on this one, $25. Come all the accessories. I think they still come on the sprue, so that's pretty cool. Complete with file card, $34.99. That's a bit much. A person is wee bit stingy on there. This is not a popular action figure, and just because it says G.I. Joe doesn't mean it's valuable. I mean, I have rocks that are millions of years old and they're worthless, except beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Carded. Here's another deal of the day, $20. All the way up to $45. $45 is a bit much in my opinion, but it again depends on what you want to spend. If I were just a carded collector, yeah, I would be paying for that. I would buy that, but that's not me. There's one with an AFA grade of 80. That's $299 for that. I'm not an AFA collector, nor will I ever be. Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts. You have to spend money to have your collectible appraised and graded, and they send it back, and yeah, it shows that it's authentic and all that. It's great for resale, but people have to recoup the cost from that, and that could get up there in price. I don't know if you've watched Toy Poy's channel, but he did a little experiment with AFA grading. He had taken a rare Skeletor that was already graded. He cracked it open on camera, packed it up, and sent it out to be graded. When it came back, he resumed the video and showed completely different grades. So it showed that there was a flaw in the grading system. He went through that expense of having it graded just to show, yeah, there is no set standard as grading. So do you really want to put a lot of stock in that? And personally, I would. That really soured me after that. But I still wouldn't pay that much, even if it didn't turn me off. His mask, I only found one out there, $7.55. The missiles, $1 to $1.85. The rocket launcher, $1 to $2. That's standard for both of those with any Battle Core figure. His file card, $3.99 to $6.19. $6.19 for this one is a little on the higher end, but it's still pretty decent. His guns didn't really specify, it didn't matter, all of them were available. $1.85 up to $4. A full card back, $3.99, deal of the day on that one. Machete, $1.99 to $2.99 for that, and I didn't see any figure stands. A lot of those are either getting lost or collectors are keeping them. Some people think these are complete with or without the collector stand, so it's all, or the figure stand, so that's all up to you. So I was going to make this a little bit shorter today. I'm sorry I didn't have much of a childhood memory for this one. I do recall seeing him in the stores, but I obviously passed him up. I just recently got these within the last year or two, and I don't know why. I like the Arctic figures, but I passed them up for some apparent reason. I don't know, to save money for gas or a date or whatever. I was into my late teens by that time, about ready to graduate high school. So I had more pressing matters on my mind than just toy collecting. So you guys, please stay safe out there. Yeah, we have a vaccine, which is fantastic. I'm not going to go off on a lecture tour on the vaccine. Do encourage you to talk to your doctor about it. As I want to see you guys around for a lot longer. It's we all know it's just the center of our lives. Nobody has gone untouched by this. So I do encourage you to do that. Don't follow what's being said in the tabloids or on social media about it. Use your common sense. Just because some influencer with millions of followers said, no, this is terrible, they don't have a medical degree. At least I don't think so. And if they did, and they're still saying this, shame on you. I know it's a hot topic and could be controversial with some people, but it's not a live virus like the flu is. It's a weakened strain of the virus. These are antibodies that are being given, from what I heard from the latest on that, on the Pfizer vaccine. That's why it has to be chilled at a sub-zero temperature, and it has to be administered within a certain period of time or it'll spoil. There's always risk that goes along with introducing anything, I mean anything, into your body. You're taking a non-sterile item and you're introducing it into your body. It's a foreign substance. It's not you. It's not what you are made out of. And at any point in time, you could stand a risk of an allergic reaction. Not specifically saying this about Coke, just an example. Okay, Coke is it. Catch the wave. Coke. It's just anything. Any medication is a risk. The risks are very, very low. So like I said, just talk to your doctor about it and decide what's best for you and your family. It's the right thing to do, in my opinion. It's our duty to ourselves, our family, and to humanity to protect one another. But I'm not going to look at you like you're some sort of a bad person if you don't want it. Don't think that. I don't think that about people. I actually respect you for sticking to your guns on that. But at the same time, it's frustrating. So I don't ever ridicule somebody for a strong opinion. That's what the foundation of free speech is based on. Your ability to be able to speak without fear of ridicule, or ability to speak without reprisal. But it still happens, doesn't it? So anyway, guys, sorry, I'm just wiped out. Very long shift yesterday. So you guys, please take care. Christmas is upon us. Use wisdom in how you conduct yourself during Christmas parties. It's best to err on the side of caution, but I'm not you guys. So just do your best. That's all I can ask. It's just, you just do your best and do what you believe is right. But you guys are fantastic. Thank you very much for tuning in, for supporting my channel. It's always humbling to see my numbers go up, that you find my content worthy enough to watch my channel. And I love that. I love seeing that. I love your comments. So please leave me comments. I love talking to you guys and making a lot of friends through this. It's just a lot of fun doing this. So stay safe, be kind to everyone, and always be kind to animals. You know, they know nothing about unconditional love. I mean, they're great. I love animals. So we'll talk to you later. This is Joe Motion Videos 82 saying love, peace, chicken grease, and have a great holiday season. See you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review. Until then, bye-bye.